Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Sad story here. 75-year-old Anita Grayson walked inside of an Indiana Tim Hortons to complain about an order and came out in a body bag. Yeah, fam, this is cold-blooded. This is a cautionary tale, though, fam, and I want y'all to pay attention to the events as they unfold. You tell me who you think was wrong, okay? Check this out.
In the U.S., the horrific scene at a coffee shop in Indiana, a violent confrontation, a 75-year-old customer and the 17-year-old clerk, that customer collapsing and dying. Here's Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, an elderly woman's family's trying to figure out how an argument over the wrong coffee shop order ended in her death.
My mother was wronged in the worst way. I lost the matriarch of my family. I need to at least know how, why.
Police in Fort Wayne, Indiana said 75-year-old Anita Grayson entered Tim Hortons to complain about her drive-through order and started arguing with the 17-year-old behind the counter. You can see a coworker then step between them before the customer appears to hit the younger worker first. That employee's manager then pushes the customer and the two tumble to the floor, where police said Grayson ripped out a chunk of the employee's hair. Minutes after the fight, Grayson was seen on the floor, and when police arrived, they found her unresponsive. Her daughter said she had heart trouble, and the family is upset over the whole thing and how it could even happen.
You should not enter a coffee shop for a coffee and a donut and come out unalived. That is diabolical.
So far, David, nobody has been charged, and the mayor of Fort Wayne is asking the community to not draw conclusions until all the facts have been released. David?
Aaron Katursky with us. Thank you.
Okay, fam, where y'all at with it? Give me a thumbs up if you think Anita Grayson was wronged. Give me a thumbs up if you think she was wrong like her daughter said. Thumbs down if you say, nah, man, it's unfortunate, but she brought that on herself. All right, here's my thoughts. Family, I know some of y'all ain't gonna like this, but I gotta call a strike and a ball a ball. The shift lead, she absolutely put her hands on Anita Grayson first. She put her hands on her, but she put her hands on her not to strike her, but to separate her from her employee, the 17-year-old. So she got between them. Now, when she put her hands on her to separate the two, Anita pushed her, and you saw that. And then the girl, this is the girl on the right, she didn't immediately swing. She swung after Anita took a swing on her and allegedly hit her in the nose. And you saw what that looked like. And then that's when old girl snapped. That's when the girl on the right snapped and attacked her, where they started fighting, right? So here's the thing, fam. When you put your hands on people, you cannot determine the level of retaliation. You can't determine that because people going to respond in different ways. Now, I know the woman's 75 years old. You should respect your elders. You don't do all of that to an elderly person. Now, we know that's how things should go, right? Lord knows I don't want on my record that I, killed a 75-year-old person, especially for something as trivial as a wrong order. I don't want that on my record. Having said that, being old does not give you a right to swing on people. Now, like I said, the lead, the cashier, she put her hands on the woman first but she didn't swing on her first. She put her hands on her to separate the woman from the other worker. Anita pushed her and then punched her. Once you do that, man, you can't really determine how it goes. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, fam, I don't want to put my hands on no elderly person. But if you punch me in the face, man, I might just snap. I would hope I wouldn't snap and, start swinging on a 75-year-old person or something. But if they punch me in the face, I'm just saying, fam. This is why it's important for people to keep their hands to themselves. It don't matter if you're 75 or 5. Keep your hands to yourself, because you never know how somebody else is going to respond. Whether you're 75 or whether you're 5, whether you are a male or a female, keep your hands to yourself, man, because you know what you're going to do, but you do not know what the next person is going to do, or the next person who might be with them is going to do. You do not know. So you want to avoid physical confrontation by all means. You really want to avoid verbal confrontation, because invariably, before any person is unalived by a physical confrontation, there is an ensuing verbal altercation. There's almost always a verbal altercation that ensues before the physical altercation. People have different levels of temperament. You don't know the next person's, and you really don't know what yours is. I have to try to avoid these type of things because I don't know what I'll do. Right or wrong, I don't know what I'll do. So I just be like, let me get on out the way. Oh, I know they like to, I know they trying to bait me. Just to me, just get out the way, because I know once I go there, I don't know how far I will go. I do not know. So the idea is to try to avoid these type of situations. I've seen a number of times people have a wrong order and they got to get out the car and go inside and confront somebody. If you get out that car and you walk inside of that restaurant to check somebody, you're automatically operating from a defensive deficit, because the law says that if you're in a safe position and you put yourself in harm's way, that's on you. If you're already safe, like you were already safe, this other person posed no danger to you. Why did you get out of your car? You got to go inside. Now, I get it. People do get out of their car to, come back. They have the wrong order. They come back and they try to get the order right. But going inside, getting out that car, going inside, charging in, you, and, cussing and carrying on and jumping over the counter and fighting and fixing your own food and all this kind of stuff, man, you asking for it. You're just asking for it. It's really not civilized behavior. You're asking for it. I hate to tell the family, but ain't nobody going to jail. Ain't nobody going to jail for this. This is why if you're going to put yourself in these type of positions, you want to make sure you're right. You want to make sure you're on the right side. I can tell you straight up without a doubt, ain't nobody going to jail for this. This woman you can say lost her life in vain. She died in vain. I know it's people out there that think, well, it don't matter what happened when she was wrong and she shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. And the woman should be alive. And, you know, I got all of that, man. I hear exactly what you're saying. And to a large degree, you're absolutely right. But that's not reality. Reality is you can't control how somebody else responds. And not everybody is going to respect their elders. Not everybody is going to allow you to hit them, punch them in the face, and not retaliate. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the woman was right to get into the fight with the elderly lady. I'm saying once you put your hands on somebody, you swing on somebody, you can't control their level of get back. You can't control that. Not everybody's going to respect the fact that you're an elder. So they're just going to let you say anything you want to say or do anything you want to do. Not everybody is going to respect that. So you have to understand that. Just like for these women who sometimes get dramatic and want to put their hands on a dude, not every dude is going to respect the fact that you are a woman and not go ape on you. Some of these dudes will knock your head off. Some of these dudes will pull out a gun and shoot you. We've seen it happen. So why take your life for granted? Why take a chance? Why take a chance? That don't make a lot of sense to me. That don't make a lot of sense to me at all. I'm on the side of the elderly woman being given the benefit of doubt, and the person just saying, you know what, she an old lady. I'm not going to do that. You know what? I'm just going to protect myself. I'm gonna protect myself just enough to protect myself. You know, I'm gonna do the minimum. I'm gonna do just enough to keep off me. I'm not gonna go attack and go into 100% attack mode and try to really, really harm her. The trip part about it is, I guess after the woman, hit the floor and stuff, and then she got up and she started talking on the phone to somebody, calling one of the people or something. The woman, the lead, she came out and gave her a cup of water, trying to help her. One could say, well, that could have been a genuine gesture, or one could say, oh, she realized she had messed up. She realized how bad it was. She better try to, so now she's trying to fix the situation, right? But I know I ain't never helped somebody I knocked out. I ain't never tried to help somebody get up after I knocked them out. But I'm going to say it again, fam. Being old does not give you a right to put your hands on anybody. Not everybody's going to accept that. This absolutely did not have to escalate. If a customer gets aggressive, what you should try to do is keep your distance. You try to keep your distance if a customer gets aggressive. So that's another angle that could have happened. The lead could have stepped back, but I don't know. It seemed like Anita was dead set on checking that other person. So I don't know if she would have went all the way back there, but we'll never know. But who knows? What if the lead and the clerk would have just stayed out of the way as she came in there talking all crazy? What if they'd have just stayed out the way, got out the way, and not stood their ground? What if they'd have just backed up and just let her talk? Perhaps she'd still be alive. We'd never know. You also have to consider the fact that, You know, you got elderly people out there who could be suffering from dementia, you know, depression, Alzheimer's. This is why, on default, I give elderly people grace. And this is why most people give elderly people grace. I know I wouldn't have went that far. Not with a 75-year-old lady. A 75-year-old man, maybe. But not a 75-year-old lady. Yeah. And it depends on what they did too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, yeah, this is bad. But ain't nobody going to jail, man. I can promise you that. Ain't nobody going to jail behind this. And that's insult to injury. R.I.P. Anita Grayson. No more talk.